At 58 years old, Cynthia Bailey has once again become the center of explosive headlines. And this time, the drama is louder, messier, and more emotionally charged than anything fans have seen in years. Just minutes ago, the former Real Housewives of Atlanta star unleashed an angry response after discovering that her ex-husband, Peter Thomas, is openly flaunting his romance with a girlfriend who is significantly younger than him. The news has travelled faster than wildfire, setting off gossip blogs, Bravo forums, celebrity news outlets, and social media platforms that thrive on drama. Cynthia, who has spent her career maintaining grace, poise, and a reputation as one of the most elegant women in reality television, has broken her silence with words that are sharp, emotional, and undeniably fueled by deep frustration. For fans who have followed her journey over the last 2 decades, this moment feels like the climax of a story that has been building for years. A story that begins long before Cynthia Bailey and Peter Thomas were even a couple, and extends into the present day, where questions of age, respect, and unresolved feelings dominate the narrative. Cynthia Bailey is not just another reality star. She is a supermodel who once graced the covers of magazines, strutted down runways, and made a name for herself as one of the most striking women in fashion during the 1990s. Her beauty and charm opened doors that allowed her to transition into television, where she became a fan favorite on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Viewers loved Cynthia, not just for her looks, but for her vulnerability. She was never afraid to show the cracks in her life, the doubts about her relationships, the stress of finances, the disagreements with friends, and the complicated role of being a mother while navigating fame. When she joined RHOA, fans were also introduced to Peter Thomas, the outspoken, strong-willed businessman who quickly became a polarizing figure in his own right. Peter Thomas brought fire, controversy, and blunt honesty to the show. As the owner of restaurants and nightclubs, Peter was deeply embedded in Atlanta's social scene, but he was also known for his temper and confrontations. His relationship with Cynthia was instantly complicated. From the moment viewers saw them on screen, it was clear they had chemistry, but it was equally clear that they clashed often. Financial troubles were a recurring theme in their storyline. Peter struggled with investments and business deals, while Cynthia found herself caught between being a supportive wife and protecting her own stability. Their wedding episode is still remembered as one of the most dramatic in RHOA history. Cynthia's mother and sister infamously tried to hide the marriage license to prevent her from walking down the aisle. That alone told fans everything they needed to know. Cynthia and Peter's love was real, but it was fraught with red flags and resistance from the people closest to her. The marriage itself was a roller coaster. For years, Bravo cameras documented their highs and lows, the joy of opening new ventures, the pain of public arguments, and the tears that came with marital strain. Cynthia often found herself defending Peter against accusations of infidelity, financial irresponsibility, and controlling behavior. Despite their struggles, there were moments of tenderness that made fans root for them, moments when it seemed like they truly could withstand the chaos of reality television fame. But by 2016, their relationship had begun to crumble publicly. Cynthia and Peter announced their separation, and in 2017, they finalized their divorce. At the time, both tried to keep things civil, insisting that there was still love and respect between them, even if they couldn't remain husband and wife. Cynthia herself said she no longer wanted to be married, hinting at the exhaustion that came with constantly trying to make their relationship work. After the divorce, Cynthia charted her own path. She focused on raising her daughter, Noelle, continuing her career, and eventually finding love again with sportscaster Mike Hill, whom she married in 2020. That marriage, too, ended in divorce by 2022, but Cynthia handled it with the same dignity she has always carried. Peter, meanwhile, continued building and rebuilding his restaurant empire, launching new businesses, facing lawsuits, and constantly being in the press for both successes and failures. Over time, fans noticed that Peter seemed to thrive on controversy, while Cynthia quietly tried to move on with her life. But no matter how much distance time put between them, it seems that Peter still has a way of pulling Cynthia back into the spotlight, whether she wants to be there or not. Enter the latest chapter, Peter Thomas, stepping out with a girlfriend young enough to be Cynthia's daughter. The photos of Peter and this new woman began circulating online, showing them enjoying nights out, sharing meals, and appearing much like a couple in love. But what immediately grabbed people's attention wasn't just the fact that Peter was dating again. It was the glaring age gap. Fans on social media began speculating about the girlfriend's age, with many claiming she appears to be in her early 20s or 30s at most, while Peter is well into his 60s. The optics of the situation were instantly controversial, and before long, people began asking the inevitable question: how does Cynthia feel about this? Her response came swiftly, and it was far from the polite, neutral statements she has given in the past. Cynthia Bailey, usually known for her calm demeanor, was furious. She expressed that she found Peter's relationship to be embarrassing, not just for him, but for everyone who had ever been connected to him. According to insiders close to Cynthia, she allegedly said she was tired of seeing Peter chase after youthful distractions instead of focusing on stability and maturity. She reportedly questioned what kind of message Peter was sending, not only to fans, but to his own family. Cynthia's words carried an edge of anger that fans are not used to seeing from her. She did not mince words, and for the first time in a long while, it was clear that she was not going to sugarcoat her feelings. Social media has been buzzing ever since her reaction surfaced. On Twitter, one fan wrote, "Cynthia Bailey deserves peace, not the embarrassment of watching her ex parade around with someone half his age." Another chimed in, "Peter Thomas is proving every single thing Cynthia said about him during their marriage. He refuses to grow up." On Instagram, debates have broken out between those defending Peter, saying he has a right to date whoever he wants, and those criticizing him for what they see as shallow behavior. Some even dragged Cynthia into the mud, accusing her of being bitter or jealous, though most of her supporters quickly came to her defense, pointing out that Cynthia's track record of class and grace speaks for itself. And yet, beyond the gossip, this situation strikes at something much deeper. It's about the double standards in society, where older men are often celebrated for dating younger women, while older women are criticized or mocked if they attempt the same. Cynthia's anger may not just be about Peter's choices, it may be about the broader cultural narrative that undervalues women her age, women who still have beauty, intelligence, and power, but who are constantly compared to younger counterparts. For Cynthia, who gave so many years of her life to Peter, seeing him pursue a relationship that highlights that very stereotype feels like salt in an old wound.